Brisbane and in Sydney as well. So I just guess I was at the age of 25. I thought it was a nice opportunity to come over and play some good football in England at a time when I think I've still got a fair bit to offer. So I just thought the timing was right, and to come to Leeds, which is a very professional and traditional club, probably the best in England. I thought it was a great opportunity to come over here and play some good football.
You come over here and everybody says you're the next Iestyn Harris because, of course, Leeds lose one of their star players to rugby union. He was the goal kicker, he was the man who made things happen on the pitch, and everyone was looking to you instantly to fill his boots. Was that a big problem for you?
No, I don't think it was a problem. It's been mentioned every time I do an interview or speak to the public. It's mentioned that I am replacing a legend around this area. So, but I'm used to that. I followed Alfie Langer at Brisbane, and also Kevin Walters in Brisbane, and Cliff Lyons at the Northern Eagles. So I've played behind some pretty good players in the past. So I guess that put me in pretty good stead to come over here and replace Iestyn, but hopefully I can play as well as he did for Leeds.
Well, I was going to say, I suppose it's credit to you that people are already saying, Iestyn who? Because you've had quite an impact so far, haven't you?
It's been a fairly good start to the season, personally, but there's a lot of work to be done with the halves and the lock as well. So we have to obviously, as the season goes on, we'll get a lot better, and hopefully my form can pick up a lot more as well.
Does it make you a better team?
I think all-round team it does, because Iestyn could pull something from nothing. He could pull us a win out of the bag, but over the course of the game,
you've got somebody in Pratt he's multi-skilled. He can play dummy half, he can play first pass, he can play second pass. And his great asset is that he's very quick and he's a very good player. The balance in that pack is great with Sinfield, who's a good runner and a good ball player, and two very good back rows that can run.
OK, we'll take a look in particular, though, at Matt Adamson, arrived from Penrith. And Jonathan, he's one of the fiercest tacklers in this Leeds pack.
Yeah, he takes the ball up extremely hard. Watch him as he's from the kick-off. Just takes it straight in. Just makes good yardage again, look, bang. Short ball, he plays well off Walker. But he's a tremendous offloader. Watch him on the floor, offloads. He creates a lot of space for the people around him. He's a good step, but he started his career in the back line. He has the ability to go off either foot, and he's got tremendous pace. One of the things, and I think he's played full back in his early career, he's got tremendous left foot. But that's where reading the game is good. When Ben Walker...
It's in history, I guess, when the Eagles, Sheffield Eagles, beat Wigan. It's going to require something of that magnitude again today, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's going to be a real tough challenge for us. But these are the sort of games that all our guys want to play. And if you've been training hard for a number of years, these are the sort of games that you want to play. And you don't want to play in the small ones where nobody's interested. Plenty of exposure. All the guys are up there. They all want to play well.
Of course, your performance in the last round against Widnes when you won was a gritty performance, certainly. It's going to take more than that today, though, surely.
Yeah, we're going to have to show a little bit more with the ball in his hands. That day were terrible conditions, so we just decided that the thing to do was just to play it nice and tight. After the first 15 minutes, when both teams were struggling to control the ball, we started playing one-up stuff, and we got the result at the end of the day. His defence held out, and that worked for us. Today we're going to have to be a little bit more expansive with ball, but I think that the guys that we've got in can do it.
You've got young players in the Wildcats side, inexperienced players. The responsibility is on the senior experienced players like you, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's right. Just put a bit more pressure on, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'll go out there and I'll do the same as I try to do every week. I'll try to take us forward and try to do what I do best, and that's.
And I've done as much as I can to try and alleviate any nerves and make them feel as though they're part of the team, which they are. And I'm sure they will be a lot more experienced and better for the experience it's themselves.
Is it important that you don't let Leeds get points on the board early in the game and give you that sort of sinking heart feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. We need to be competitive, especially from the start and then all the way through. The first 20 minutes, when the game's probably going to be at its most intense, we need to make sure that it's at least 0-0 going into that segment of the game.
Thanks, Pete.
Few problems for Leeds coach Darryl Powell as the sides line up there. Francis Cummins, the skipper. Darryl Powell's regular half-back partnership of Sheridan and Walker are fit again. They've been nursing injuries all week, and I'm sure they'll relish the improvements on this particular pitch. Good roar and round of applause as ever to greet the two sides here at Headingley. Leeds in the usual colours of yellow and blue, and Wakefield Trinity almost looking like Great Britain in the red and blue V on the white jersey. Good crowd underneath the south stand. They've been in good voice singing their songs before the sides have been coming out, but certainly Leeds with a very, very strong back lineup, and those halves, as I said, Sheridan and Walker, will be very, very much to the fore. In the pack, Carl Pratt takes over from the suspended Matt Diskin in the front row, and Kevin Sinfield, well, look out for another good game from him. He was in excellent form against Bradford. Selection headaches all week, I'm afraid, for Wildcats coach Peter Rowe. However, over a half a dozen still on the treatment table, but a chance for 17-year-old Matthew Ray to make his debut on the wing. And in the pack, 20-year-old Paul Hanforth takes over in the hooking role. A vast difference in experience in the Challenge Cup in the two substitute lineups. Referee Carl Kirkpatrick. Warrington, following the traditions of Warrington whistlers, Joe Manley and Charlie Appleton and company. No wind out here at all. Sun has been shining. Ideal conditions for a game. Just 4 lads on that Wakefield bench with 7 starts between them. Very inexperienced. And Tony Carroll returning to action for the first time this season after major surgery on his shoulder.
What's the lines, Chris?
Referee Kirkpatrick just having a word with his two judge just to see that everything is okay down those lines. 2 touch judges, Phil Brooks and Frank Hawley. And we're underway. Can the underdogs do it, Ian?
Well, they're really up against it, Wakefield. It's been a dramatic week for them in regard to injuries, and also at the start of the season due to lack of finances. Big test, but it's a knockout, isn't it? You know, the best team wins today. That's the beauty of the Challenge Cup.
Dennis and Jonathan were talking about the pitch earlier on. I think Jason Booth, the head groundsman, he's put a lot of work in with course of deep spiking this week, and he really has made a difference. It's not looking too bad. It'll be good for open play, I think. Leeds then in possession. And here is that man Sinfield making way down that left-hand side. Sheridan nursing a hamstring injury all week. Martin Holland, one of the many former academy players in this Wakefield Trinity side. And Trinity will certainly want to get up into the faces of this Leeds outfit, really get them on the back foot in these early stages. Paul Jackson, one of the longest serving players at Bellevue Wakefield, just 3 years actually. That's a good kick here, and it splits the two lads, doesn't it, and puts them right back within 10 metres of their own line.
Well, he kicked it inside his 40, looking for the 40-20, but both wingers from Leeds dropped back, so he had to kick to the post, and he's kept the ball in play and applied some pressure, and that's what Wakefield need to get some rhythm and get themselves in this game.
Leeds winners over Bradford and Hull Kingston Rovers in the earlier rounds, and Wakefield Trinity victors over Sheffield Eagles and Widnes. The quarter-final stage.
It's very much like a boxer at the moment, isn't it, Ray? They're just jabbing at each other at the moment, just keep completing their sets of 6 and getting to a kick. And I think when the first time a team comes up with an error, we're going to find then they'll get on the attack a little bit more.
Interesting, Sheridan testing young Matthew Ray, just 17 years of age. His debut here this afternoon, but he did well there, and he'll just be a lot better for that touch of the ball.
Young Rob Barrow's only a very small player for Leeds, Ray, but gee, this young Ray, he's only smaller also, but geez, he's very willing, isn't he? That's 2 in a row there.
He's very willing. So is this lad, number 20, David Wrench, former Leeds player. Wrench and Field, both ex-Leeds lads. They'll be wanting to prove a point. And again, another good kick. This was part of Peter Rowe's tactics this week. I was watching them train, and he was telling them he wants this game played 10 or 15 metres from this Leeds line, especially in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, that good rule that the Rugby League's got where you can kick the ball from your 40, and if you get inside the opposition 20, you get another set of 6. And Chev Walker wasn't back that time, and Davis picked it out, but unfortunately his kick didn't find the mark. But if they keep it tactics like that, they're going to be well within this, Wakefield.
Andy Hay picked up 4 tries against the London Broncos a couple of weeks ago, being in sensational form. Oh, nicely pushed out there to Adrian Vowles. Vowles again, normally at loose forward, filling in the absence at the start of Tony Carroll in the centre. Ben Walker to Savatambour, the Fijian wing. One of the few experienced men of the Challenge Cup in this Wakefield Trinity side, with Sheffield Eagles when they won at Wembley in '98.
Come on, Keith, you're not working.
He keeps telling them, Ray, to get back these Leeds players at 10 metres, and I think he's going to penalise them shortly because they're struggling to get back.
You've been doing a lot in the press this last week, Ian, about the 10 metres, criticising the referees for not doing it.
Well, here we go. We've got some latitude here around the ruck area. But yeah, look, I think the biggest thing there, Ray, is that they addressed the coaches and said, we're going to get them back 10 metres, we're going to play the ball area up. And with the wet grounds, that creates frustration when they aren't back.
Not sure, there's another 6. Yes, it was a knock-on. It wasn't the best of kicks from the former Auckland Warriors lad Nathan Wood, but Trinity come out with it. Jamie Field now joined Wakefield from Leeds in '99. Paul Broadbent, the skipper, driving towards the post. Trinity looking to get the first points on the board. Good long pass out wide here now, out to the wingman. Here's a chance! Yes! And Chris Tassel is in at the corner. Oh, superb pass. He cut out the centre and the wingman. And Chris Tassel, who's hardly trained this week, he's had ankle problems, no problem taking off there. Terrific try from Chris Tassel. 4 points to Wakefield Trinity. They had that self-belief, they must have it now.
Well, this Ray come from, we said they were like 2 boxers jabbing, waiting for an error off the opposition. Come on the last tackle, and now they've got another set of 6 in at Wakefield. Do really well, they work their way to the posts, give themselves good field position. Davis does a cutout pass across them, and unfortunately they're caught short of numbers, Leeds, and they've done really well here, and just they got that from building pressure. Once again, the long ball across Wood, which created a little bit of doubt in the Leeds defence. And look, you know, by them controlling the ball, getting a simple kicking game, both teams were really challenging each other by saying, look, who's going to come up with an error? And it was Leeds.
The key to that try, though, as well, Liam, was that masterly pass there from the half-back, wasn't it?
It was, you know, and they worked their way to the post, and both their playmakers forced their way over their left-hand side. But it was Davis who dominated over Wood, and through a few cut-out passes, they eliminated defenders. Good little bit of options there and enterprise, but very well finished off by Tassel.
Brad Davis then with a very difficult kick right out here on the touchline. Oh, it's just gone to the outside of the post. Good effort, no win to contend with, but still just 4 points.
Well, just looking to play the ball. It's a fair play the ball. In fact, it could have nearly been a penalty there because he was being held down Broadbent. But the ball across Wood, Davis seizes the situation. He puts it across another forward, a long ball, which is now on the winger on the centre. And they still have one more left player over there, Wakefield. So done extremely well to create the numbers.
And that's exactly what their coach Peter Rowe wanted.
I'll tell you what it'll also do, Ray, just these young guys in the week they've had, they're not sure what their final team is going to be. It'll just give them a little bit more composure, a little bit more stability now. They're saying, hey, this is a knockout. You know, we're a chance. We started well.
Challenge Cup winners in the 60s and the 50s when they had the great heroes like Neil Fox, Derek Turner and Brooke Allen, Skeen and company. Well, they may not have the star names in this Trinity side, but they certainly don't lack enthusiasm. They don't lack the work ethic. Trinity, again, the third kick of the afternoon. We've not had 8 minutes yet. Well picked up there by St Hilaire.
Well, that's the first kick they've had that hasn't gone right down to the try line, isn't it, Ray? You know, it's only gone to 40, and it'll be interesting to see how they defend this set of 6 because they haven't got as good a field position from that kick.
Looking to play well. A nice switch from the blind side there. But the Leeds pack just standing still. These two half-backs need to get 1 or 2 runners like Adamson and Hay coming from deep. Fleary. Galbraith. Former winger, now playing in the hooking role on the 5th tackle. Ben Walker moving it out to Sinfield, electing to run. No, there's a little kick. But beautifully taken. Well, his coach couldn't have expected anything better than that young lad. 17 years of age. Look at that for a take, Ian.
Well, it's a great decision by Carl, too, the referee, because you're not allowed to tackle a player while he's in mid-air. So that's one there. This is a kid's debut. He's very small, and he's one brave little kid, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Back you go. On the cross. On the cross.
Good tactic, but isolating him in his debut, and plus with his height, you know, they've got taller people around him. Good tactic, and I think it's a tactic Leeds should probably continue at. I think another thing there, Ray, you look at Leeds have got a lot of ball players, and they're very keen to shift the ball at the moment, aren't they? Instead of probably rolling the sleeves up and doing the hard yards and going forward.
Paul Hamforth. Again, another good pass there from Nathan Wood. These two half-backs, Davis and Wood, stamping themselves ahead of Sheridan and Walker in these early stages. Admittedly, they've got the possession, but they're using the ball well, aren't they?
Well, Leeds are keen to shift it, where the Davis and Wood are very keen. Oh, there's
the minute
we put the mock on them, haven't we?
The minute you praise somebody, that happens.
Well, it's interesting, and when they played Widnes in their last Challenge Cup, I thought Wood was the best player, and just in front of Davis. They've controlled proceedings by moving players around the park, and a very astute kicking game, where the Leeds halves have been very much more keen to shift the ball on. So it's an error, and it'll be interesting to see how Wakefield handle this error. Last time Leeds had one, they didn't handle it; they conceded 4.
The Trinity pack edging out there in the pack rates. Doesn't really make much difference now in the scrum, just a sort of an individual basis in the loose. Sadly for old traditionalists like me to see an ex-wingman now in the hooker role.
Yeah, well, now I think I'll just hold you there for a minute, Ray.
Good run by Vowles. Chantilla looking for the quick play the ball to Walker. Not the best of passes. Picked up well though by Sinfield, but again, good tackle there. Nathan Wood moving in well, and the knock on.
Well, probably just going back to your comment there about Carl Pratt, you're right. You know, a lot of halfback and 5/8s now do play at hooker. But then the modern game, the scrum doesn't come about. But, you know, I look at your cauliflower ears, Ray, and I'm glad the modern scrum is the way it is, because I don't want to see any young kids with ears like that, mate.
I'm glad you didn't mention my nose as well, Ian.
I'm going to bring that up later.
Later.
Let's go. Yes.
Trinity with Savatambuan doing well, using a little crisscross move behind the scrum there. Tassel again. That's a good tackle there from Adrian Vowles, trying to make up for that lapse in the corner. Davis. He's had a knee injury last year, curtailed his performances somewhat, and a groin injury this season, but looks to be okay now. Troy Slattery signed this season from South Sydney and former Huddersfield club. Nathan Wood again, just pushing Leeds back, just keeping the momentum, keeping the pressure. He's not allowing Leeds to sackle, he's not allowing Leeds to sort of get that momentum in midfield here.
No, he isn't. He's trying to create field position so they can work in more probably compression in their defence. And probably the other thing too is they had to do 2 sets in a row there, back-to-back sets of 6, and he probably said, we need a little bit of a blow here, let's make Leeds come off their line again. And that's why Wood controlled the game against Widnes, and he's doing the same here.
Head in, Kev. Head in, Kev. Stay there.
I'll tell you what, Ray, but Leeds are a much bigger team, like in height-wise and physically looking than Wakefield, aren't they? You know?
Yeah, they are.
Just when you look at them down here, gee, they look much bigger.
Yeah, they're a much older side as well, Ian. Some very young lads in this Trinity 17. Carl Pratt then, good pass out to Pratt there, launching down that blind side. Andy Hay, but again, good covering across field there, good tackling from Gareth Ellis, number 17 for Trinity. Darren Fleary. Still, Leeds looking for their first break of the afternoon. Walker. That ricocheted off a Leeds player. Back to one. And caught away from Trinity player. Barry McDermott, great favourite here at Headingley. He only knows one way, and that's forward. Good 10 metres gained there now. First real pressure. Carl Pratt going for that line. Good handoff from the left. Not the biggest of players, but very strong upper body strength. First real pressure on that Trinity line. Walker, Sheridan. A little bit of hesitancy there at the take from Kevin Sinfield. Sheridan again. On the 5th tackle. Sheridan. No, he's not. It ricocheted off one of the Trinity players. Martin Holland was there, but just for a minute here, I thought there was somebody sneaking around the posts.
Well, usually there is there, and it's a hard place to defend there also. The big thing now, Wakefield, they're going to have to go 3 sets in a row because they touched the ball over there, which the tackle count restarted, was nullified. Now they're going to have their 3rd set in a row. So it's a big test for them, but the first 2 they've done well. It'll be interesting if they can hold this strike power of Leeds out.
Leeds still pressing here now. 5 tackles in this sequence, trying to get those 4 points back. Fleary driving to the 20-metre line. Good strong burst by Fleary now. Fleary driving through. Oh, here's a chance for a try. Oh, terrific tackle there. He's lost the ball, or has it been stolen? Yes, it's been stolen. Chance, good tackle, terrific tackle. It's all action here now at Headingley. Leeds really hitting back. But again, good defence from Trinity. We saw this against Widnes. They've only conceded a try a match in the earlier 2 rounds. Walker trying to stretch them out wide. Good play there by Walker. He's got space outside. Oh, Senior's knocked on. There's the relief. And I think we can have a word at long last with Richard Duckingfield down there on the bench, because we really couldn't cut to him. Such has been the action, but that's a knock-on.
Yes, right. It's, Peter Rowe was saying, the Wildcats coach before this game, that he was very anxious that they weren't overrun in the first quarter of the game. Well, that certainly hasn't happened, but they've had to go in for some last-ditch defending in the past couple of minutes. It's significant, I think, that the more that Ryan Sheridan and the more that Ben Walker get into this game, the more that the Wildcats are really going to have to do.
Feed it in, fellas, come on.
Well, the more the Wildcats are going to have to do, according to Dick, but they've got possession, and they really did well to withstand that sequence of tackles.
They did great, Ray. They really did great. You know, their desperation and their ability to stay together in the line was outstanding. This is a very important set of 6 for them. If they come up with an error, but they won't go another set of 6. But gee, they did well there, you know, and good refereeing there, picking up the double knuckle on by both teams.
Yes. Trinity coach Peter Rowe lost 10 of his last year's squad owing to the financial troubles of the club, but you wouldn't think it here this afternoon. Here's Tassel again coming down this left-hand side. Nathan Wood wants a quick play of the ball. Broadbent, good burst there. Wood again. Oh, he's causing havoc in midfield, this lad. Brad Davis. He's lost it. Well, that was unfortunate for Davis there. He knows he should never have contemplated passing that ball.
They've done real well, a lot of enterprise, a lot of passing, unloading the ball, just staying alive, everyone there. And you can see why he's speculating on the outside. They had 3 or 4 numbers on one winger there, and if it hit the mark, I think it's definitely try time.
This half-back partnership of Nathan Wood, former Auckland Warriors player, 17 appearances in New Zealand last year. Very confident, very cocky, 30-year-old. Really got a grip of this midfield for Trinity. Aided and abetted by this lad, Brad Davis.
Don't forget the holding down, don't forget the tackle, let's roll away, both sides.
They say size is everything in rugby league, Ray, but I tell you what, you know, size isn't everything when you've got two halves, and the halves are usually the smallest people on your field. You know, they're the quarterbacks, like the American equivalent, isn't it? And they're the ones who get you around the park, and these two Wakefield blokes are doing a good job of doing it.
Leeds boss Daryl Powell and Mal Reilly, his assistant, at the side of him, not too happy at this stage. Now then, Adamson looking to get the ball away. Can't do. Martin Holland clinging valiantly to that leg. Barry McDermott. Leeds desperately trying to get the pack moving down the middle. Carl Pratt, if he gets away, he's got real pace. He's had a shoulder operation in the winter, looks to be fit again. Sheridan, good play by Sheridan. Just can't get away. Frantic defence here again from Trinity. Sinfield to Walker. He's got Hay outside him now then. Needs to have got an overlap. Oh, surely he should have passed the ball there. On the 5th tackle. Oh, nice little slip there. Sinfield. Sabatamboud just gets the ball away. But that was well done at the play of the ball. Nice little flick pass behind. Kept the movement going down the blind side.
They did, and it was a very good awareness by Singfield the way he come around. He brought the winger up by putting 3 players on 3. He had to defend the winger. The other thing too is it's noticeable now, Ray, they're getting a lot more unloads in their game, Leeds, and which is a little bit of a fatigue factor with Wakefield because they're having to do a wider defence at the moment. So as much as they're hanging in there, time says that they're going to have to give shortly.
Certainly Leeds in the last 10 minutes have really come back into their own, haven't they? They're now beginning to show enterprise, and they're stretching them, aren't they?
Well, Adamson down there, right-hand side, Leeds, has made some very good inroads coming off his right foot back on the inside of the defence. And with that, McDermott's go forward and Fleary have been very, very well supported there by their halves pushing up, looking for these unloads.
Help on me, come on!
Leeds driving in here. 20 metres to Sheridan. Sheridan now with Adamson. Adamson driving in. Good play there from Matt Adamson. Leeds still using this big pack. McDermott. Fleary. Causing Trinity a lot of problems. They've been tackling incessantly here now for 8 or 9 minutes. Sheridan. He's got Ben out wide there. Keith Senior's going in. Oh, now then. Did Senior get the ball down over the line? Or was he short on a double movement? Mr. Kirkpatrick wants to look at the screen.
Just check the grounding.
David Asquith from York, the video referee, will have to judge on that. And I think I'd like a good look at it too, Ian.
Yeah, he's only asked for the grounding, so, you know, he's confident he's got it over the line. So, and if you look at the lines, I mean, his first call was he thought he got it over too. So he's just checking this. We've got it here now, big man on a smaller man. Come back on the inside of him. He's reaching out. That's a try, Ray.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy one. He's done very well here. Look at Senior. He's got some work to do there. The way he's reaching out, his control of the ball, his grip on the ball is outstanding there.
That's good play from Keith Senior there. Try, no hesitation from Mr. Asquith. 2 tries against Hull Kingston Rovers in the previous round, and his 35th try in the Rhinos colours.
Well, they just had a lot of options here, and he come back on the inside, and the defence is there, but he beats him with a little bit of footwork and mainly strength, and a lot of it, the amount of work they've had to do here, Wakefield, the last 10 minutes. They've had to do a lot of back-to-back sets, and it's told on them. They're not getting off their line as quick, and when you don't get off your line, you can be overpowered, and that was the case with that being so close to the try line.
First attempt at a conversion. Ben Walker been in excellent kicking form. Any of the viewers who saw our snippets of the game against Hull KR would have seen him kicking in a snowstorm and kicking into the wind and the snow from the touchline. Prolific point scorer down under with the Northern Eagles, and 12 goals in 3 appearances already here at Headingley. Really has stepped into the Iestyn Harris role. Ben Walker. Not this time, though, I'm afraid. So the scores remaining level thanks to that Keith Senior dash. 4 apiece.
Well, you look at there, they're shifted it. The half-back Sheron's dominated the call there. And even though they're, you know, it's with the bodies in motion, he could have picked up numerous people. Their awareness there was very good, Sheridan. He's taken the ball to the line too, which is good. He could have hit Hay. He's hit Senior. And Senior's done well. He had a lot of work to do, Ray, didn't he? You know what I mean? Like if he's pulled short, you would have said, well, fair's fair. But he's had to do an extra lot of work there. He deserved that try there. But they were looking very tight leading it up to that. Due to the amount of defensive had to do Wakefield. It's a cool game, isn't it, Ray? You look at that situation there where Davis tries to get that pass away, they hit some mark, they score, you know what I mean? Now they've had to defend for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
I think Richard Duckingfield has some information from the Trinity bench down there for us.
Yes, Ray, one of the Wildcats coaching staff, Johnny Thompson. Johnny, it was a good start, but it's looking a bit ominous on the part of the Rhinos now, isn't it?
No, I think we're still controlling the game. For the first 22 minutes, it's all been Wakefield. I think we're really coming good today.
That first quarter was very important for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, very important. We're making a debut. We've done really well. And I think we've taken it to them on attack and defence.
Thanks, Johnny.
Tommy Hockey there. Young 20-year-old again with very few appearances. Another youngster making his way with Peter Rowe. It is again, Hockey to Tassel. Tassel really causing problems down this left-hand side. Both Tassel and Senior, the 2 try scorers. Very tall, very big lads. Good reach for the line. Davis again. Ripped out. Andy Hay had a look in his eye there, didn't he? I think if the look could have said...
Well, the video doesn't lie, does he?
No.
He didn't have great control of it, the Wakefield player, but gee, he contributed to it. You know, it was a poor bit of ill-discipline there on his behalf. It was laying there. He should have just let consequences lead in the right way for him. I think he would have lost control of the Wakefield bloke, but he contributed to it. Very interesting there, Carl Kirkpatrick. He's very keen to get him back 10 yards. But while he's doing that, it's giving the defending team to hold them down longer than to play the ball. And that's one of the reasons that contributed there. So it's good to get him back 10 yards, but we also need at speed of the ruck. And that's where his linesman comes into it.
After all you've said this week about getting people back 10 yards, you can't complain about Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Mate, I like it because he gets them back 10. I'd rather have him back 10 than 5, 6 or 7.
Brad Davis. As I said earlier, no wind out here at Headingley. Ideal conditions for kicking, but still, Brad Davis looking to get his name on the team sheet, on the score sheet. 4 apiece, 24 minutes gone. Peter Rowe using the walkie-talkie, which they use these days. Davis, Paul Broadbent, and Savatambour doing well, coming inside here. Top try scorer for Wakefield Trinity, and the player of the season, the Fijian, Jamie Field. Davis. Nice pass to Wood. He's got a gap there. Can he get through it? Oh, he's looking for support. So Savatambour's there again. Good recovery. This time, Andy Hay and Carl Pratt. Davis again. Oh, just an ankle tap. That was significant there by Walker. Davis. Paul Jackson, he can run this block forward. He's nimble, he's agile. Just 3 metres now from that line. Not the best of kicks, I don't think, from Paul Hanforth there. It was really directed right at the Leeds player.
Well, it didn't typify the quality of that set of 6 Wakefield produced. You know, they contributed from the halves again. We're looking at Davis and Wood. Gee, they did well there, and they're looking for support. Eventually come. Stafford Taboo being in field helped them in that set of 6. It was a real quality set of 6 by Wakefield. Finished off with a poor kick option, but they've got them down this end of the park, and that's as good a set of 6 as Wakefield's had.
And we've got some news on the Wakefield Trinity injury from Richard.
Yes, Dave Wrench, the Wildcats forward, is back on the bench with an ice pack on his injured right shoulder. I understand the damage is not serious. There's nothing broken. It's not dislocated. He may be able to return to this game, and I guess that's good news for Wildcats, because you would assume that as this game progresses, they're going to really have to count on marshalling all 17 players that they've got available.
A lad who learned his trade here with the academy at Leeds before going off to Wakefield Trinity. Gareth Ellis. Not seen a lot of him on attack, been going well in defence. Another former academy player. Troy Slattery. And Wakefield taking this game to Leeds. No lack of confidence. Nathan Wood looking to go himself.
Move him! Move him!
Oof. Broadbent. Jackson.
Oh! Get off that!
Desperate tackling here from Leeds, and that's a penalty.
Too much, Des. Too
Holding
much.
down.
He's on the deck. He's on the deck, Darren. He's on the deck.
Now, that's been coming for a little while there. He's been warning them. We can hear him on the monitors, and he's been warning them, and it was going to eventually come. But I think a couple of rucks there before he even warned them there also. I think you're looking here, Ray. You made a little bit of a comment. Was there a kick out here? I think it's just legs tied up here.
I think Barry McNair was trying to just get his leg out, to be quite honest.
Nothing there. He's really come in a little bit too late there, Darren Fleary, too. You know, he's come in, the tackle's nearly completed, and as you can see, he's done everything possible to concede a penalty.
But he's causing a lot of problems, is Paul Jackson. Good young lad.
I've been very impressed with his footwork, being able to beat people, and his strength. I think also we've got to keep in mind too, Ray, is that this field on the surface doesn't look too bad, but a lot of players have been beaten back on their inside shoulder, and I think it's a little bit contributed to the surface. If you don't get your defensive lines right, they are being beaten back on the inside shoulder, which these last 2 sets, Wakefield's the ones who are making the easy yards.
And at last, on the 3rd attempt, Brad Davis finds 2 points. 6 points to 4 then for Wakefield Trinity.
A very significant change here. Tony Carroll's come into the game. One of the most powerful players in English Rugby League, an Australian, very decorated player in Australia, and come over at a young age, only 24. Very powerful. Interesting to see how he comes back from his shoulder reconstruction.
And another young lad, Chris Feather, just 20 years of age, 6'4", and I hesitate to say it again, but yet another academy player from Wakefield. They really are pulling on from the hidden reserves here this afternoon. But Leeds, packed with international talent, can always do something. Play on, good advantage there. Well,
no, there's no advantage.
No advantage, I suppose.
Where the ball was dropped, it went further another 10 or 15 yards, which was a disadvantage to Leeds. But he was in a hole, and he'd beaten the defender. He catches it. We may have been looking at a try there. It was certainly a potential opportunity there, gone missing. The pass is okay, it's the catch. And they've really gone up a gear here in the last 5 or 10 minutes, Wakefield, haven't they? After withstanding that lot of defensive work they had to do, they've done well.
Ben Walker.
And
it really does need these 2 halves, Walker and Sheridan, to begin to assert themselves in midfield. Perhaps bring in the likes of Carroll and Senior Hawaii. Fleary, good charge there from the England prop. Leeds not used a substitute yet in the 30 minutes. Obviously, Gareth Powell keen to use them up in the second half. Carl Pratt, Tony Carroll, yes. Hey, conversion, that's a try! And suddenly, the Wakefield Trinity defence inside, and Andy Hay, a prolific try scorer here with the Leeds Rhinos, in on the left. And it was so easy.
Well, it was. It had come from the area which they nearly looked, they are going to score, Wakefield. A little bit of a crisscross across the ruck to move the defence around. Footwork by Sheridan, the small man beating a lot of people, picking up Hay. And it was only 2 weeks ago he scored 4 tries in a game here in the first Super League game. And it's just Sheridan with his footwork across the ruck, switching the play, holding the ball out in both hands, creating a little bit of doubt, and Hay goes over to score. Yeah, Pratt at dummy up. He's doing a good job, Pratt. Normally a winger playing it at number 9. We talked about the modern game. A lot of players now can play in the 9 position because it's changed a lot. But it's just Sheridan going across the ruck, the switch of play early, and look good there. They always threaten to pass it to Carroll's side, and Wakefield very conscious of that. But it was the other side where Walker is, which they're sending the ball more to, which is Leeds' left side.
Ben Walker looking for his first goal of the afternoon, and he finds it. And Leeds in the lead then for the first time by 10 points to 6. And a well-worked throw.
Yeah, they did, you know, just beating people with some footwork there again. I think it's very much shows how great the game of English rugby league is at the moment when you've got people like Ben Walker, only 24 years of age, leading try scorer in the NRL, point scorer last year, Ray, and they're coming to the country at a young age, isn't it? And displaying their skills here. They look very, very promising with the ball when they get a little bit of possession, Leeds, aren't they, with those halves?
Trinity coach Peter Rowe will be upset at that try because he was working all week on picking up the acting half-back and picking up the first receivers with 2 men coming either side to put them on the back. Pratt wasn't picked up, and that was the consequence, the try from Andy Hay. Leeds then now, will they begin to show the class? They've bought heavily this season. Francis Cummins, not seen a lot of him in attack, the captain. 4 Challenge Cup finals to his credit. They're running confidently now. McDermott, good short ball. Here's Cummins now. Can Cummins go all the way? No, he's got Walker with him. Good covering. Good tackle there by Hanford, but still Leeds have got that momentum. Pratt again, going from the acting half-back. Sheridan. Launching tackle. On the 5th tackle. Martin Holland did well there. Now I thought Sinfield was... Well, I thought he was going to drop a goal at one stage. Oh! But they both lost it. The young lad Matthew Ray lost it. Saint-Hilaire lost it. It's a dropout. A tap. It'll be a tap out.
In golfing terms, there's some air swings there, wasn't there? You know, I mean, they're lucky to get out of that. Not a great kick, nearly resulted in a try. We're looking for someone here. There's an air swing, and there's nearly another air swing. Gee, it's interesting he didn't go to the video ref. Did it go back? I think it went forward. Wasn't a lot in it, but.
So Vattenberg, seen good service with Fiji in the 95 and 2000 World Cups.
Break the 10, hold the line.
Nathan Wood. Interested any youngsters watching there, Ian. Tommy Hockett running at the shoulder of the defender, hopefully to try to get a pass out.
Yeah, they are. Actually, the skill of both teams passing the balls has been very good. It's been an enterprising game there.
That's a knock-on. Wakefield ball.
Decision in Trinity's favour here. He's judging a knock-on here.
Well, he's saying Carl Pratt knocked the ball out, and then a Leeds player dived on it. So, and it was a one-on-one situation there. So, you know, it wasn't. It didn't warrant a penalty. All it warranted was a scrum feed. And a scrum feed to Wakefield.
Well, it's classed as a knock-on. It's 1-to-1. He can have a go at the ball.
Yep.
Quite rightly classed as a knock-on. Brad Davis. Holland. Gareth Ellis.
It was a great tackle up there. The fullback Holland, wasn't it, when Cummings got through, wasn't it?
Tremendous.
Fullback on fullback. Gee, it was well done. Saved the try.
Chris Feather. Yet another of these big, tall men coming in the game now. You know, we have men like Wayne MacDonald, 6'7", Adamson, 6'5", repeating. Oh, just short. Trinity coming back again, attacking the end where the supporters have congregated. Now then. Good tackle from Fleary on the 5th tackle. And 4th.
Get out there. Wakefield ball.
And a Wakefield ball. It was adjudged to have been knocked into.
Well, Chev Walker's put his hand up and touched it, which while he's in the field of play, which warrants a Wakefield another feed. So, not a real great movement here by Chev. You know, not a great kick here. It was the last tackle option. They'd run out of ideas. And we've seen here, it's going to go out, and he touches it, so it is. I'll tell you what, some of these Super League teams, Ray, if you look at there, we're just looking at the replay here, Davis, when Platt come out of the line at him, and then that's where he got hurt. He got the unload. They can't afford to lose Davis. Gee, they could start a basketball franchise, some of them, couldn't they? Like Wayne McDonald, 6'7". We've got Adamson, who's about 6'6", has just gone off, and he's been replaced by Carroll.
I can't understand it, because always, for years and years, rugby league forwards were about 6 foot, 6'1". You know, with no line-outs in the game, and yet suddenly, this last 15 months, you know, everyone's going taller. Is there some reason? Can they offload the ball better?
Well, it definitely helps with the unload. Definitely, especially when you get one-on-one with a defender. It's very hard to control.
Trinity then looking to control this ball for this set of 6, and it's this side that they are attacking. Good ball. Oh, just got hold of Nathan Wood there. Just 3 minutes remaining here now to half-time. Savatambour. Now then, there's a little bit of an argument, and he's knocked on.
Side, fellas. Side, fellas.
Now then, was by Sali Savatambour claiming that the ball had been stolen, but no hesitation from the referee.
Big fella, Carl.
He's played very well, and he's made a lot of inroads when he's coming around the ruck area. There's a few bodies in the tackle, and some big bodies too. Nothing wrong there at this stage. He's trying to get up and play it. There's a bloke underneath him. There's a bloke on top of him. So it's very hard to grip the ball. It's been hard to see if he... No. You know, he'd been better off doing was just playing as quick as he could, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Instead of bringing the ref in to make a decision there.
Tony Carroll.
Come on, Chris.
Been out for a considerable length of time with that shoulder problem.
Hey, leave it. On me.
Wayne McDonald, the 6'7" giant in the back row there now for Leeds. Oh, and that's a punishing kick from Leeds.
And I'll tell you what, it's a 40-22, Ray, which I'll get another set of 6 here. Yeah, I had a look. They're going to look where he kicked it on the red line here. They'll look, was he inside, behind that red line, which he is?
Yes, just in. That's a 40-20 kick if it's... yes, it goes in. If it's given, a kick like that gives the head and ball to the kick inside. And what a decision to go against you for a head and ball scrum. Just a couple of minutes remaining. Another sequence of 6 tackles for Leeds. Trinity will desperately want to keep Leeds out here. They'll be happy with this scoreline. They'll be quite content, I think, to go in 10-6. Well, his back foot is behind the red line, wasn't it?
He's gone on for a forward pass now. No, I thought it was fair 40-20. I thought it was great skill and anticipation by Kevin Singfield. Young player, but already playing for Great Britain at this present stage.
But having performed something as good as that, to give a simple forward pass like that.
Coach killers. Lose hair, go grey, all those things.
Let's go.
I've had both, and I've never coached in my life.
You're not looking real good, Ray, are you? The cauliflower ear, the nose, the grey hair. And I'm not going to tell how much hair there is.
Bring back Jonathan Davis. Cummins. Leeds will surely just want to hold on to this ball now. They're very somewhat relieved, I would think, to be in front at half-time. And good open play. This pitch really has held up well. Thankfully, the rains of the last 48 hours relented.
Come on! Come on!
Mr. Kirkpatrick calling Trinity right back the full 10 metres. Wayne MacDonald striding in there. Former Wakefield Trinity player looking for a good game, and hasty retreat there for Darren Powell, obviously with a lot to say, but those Trinity fans, well, they can be very, very pleased with this opening 40 minutes. They came into this game with a side full of young academy players, but there they are, only trailing by 10 points to 6. We're in for a good 40 minutes.
There is no comparison. You've got, you know, Willie poaching, and if Rob Burrows comes on and they're tired, he will cut them to pieces. He's the smallest guy in Super League, but absolutely electric. So they've just, and what they've got to do is try and get on the scoreboard first. Because if Leeds start going away from them, they'll drop, they'll tire, and then, you know, they might capitulate. So it's a very important first 20 for them.
Yeah, just as it was in the first half, and they were inspired in that first 20 minutes of that first half. They need exactly the same in this second half, and we'll have a tremendous contest on our hands. It's the second half of Leeds against Wakefield. Leeds leading by 10 points to 6. We're back with Ian Millward and Ray Flynn.
Yes, a tremendous second half, I think, under prospect, as Wakefield Trinity, well, they look to have the appetite for this final 40 minutes, and so they should. They've given a wonderful performance. The £16 million hospitality and hotel complex for Yorkshire Cricket and Leeds Rugby League, one of the many improvements underway here at Headingley to create the finances to bring the world's best to the cricket and the rugby league, but a team here, well, that's cost just a fraction of the one that has been assembled in the Rhinos colours, is giving them real trouble. And the question is, Ian, have Trinity got the stamina to last out in that final 20 minutes?
Well, it's not only the stamina, it's the physical presence, because you look at the bench there with McDonald and Carroll, you know, powerful people. I don't think they can hold them out for another 40, but what they've done so far has been tremendous, and they've done extremely well. If they can continue that, we've got a great game in hand, and they could cause some anxiety amongst Leeds. There's a powerful tackle straight away from the kick-off.
Leeds, I think, looking to perhaps put this game out of Trinity's way in the early stages. Kevin Sinfield. Sheridan, flaring. He's looked powerful all afternoon. He's really taken 2 or 3 men to keep a grip of him in midfield. Sheridan again. Ben Walker. Well looked after there by Tommy Hockey.
On me!
Sheridan. Vowles.
Leave him!
On the 5th tackle. That's a good kick. Oh, they've left it a little bit late. But Salvatore either readied well or he was very, very lucky. But both of the Trinity defenders seem to get to that ball rather late.
Come on!
They seem very cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, and further bad news for Trinity. I understand Richard's got some news of some injuries down there.
Yes, well, it's potentially bad news, I guess, for the Wildcats. Brad Davis, who you saw injured in the first half, well, he actually had a dead leg. They've worked on it. He was clearly limping when he came out for the second half. They're hoping, obviously, that he's going to be able to survive for the rest of this half. But also a problem for Chris Tassel. Tassel took a stud in the groin in that first half. Now, that is a painful injury, so they're obviously keeping an eye on him, but they want to marshal all the resources they possibly can.
Superb play there from the lead skipper. Francis Cummins did well to retrieve that ball in the in-goal area, made 15 metres. And again, good thinking there by the Leeds wing, Chev Walker, coming in to help out until that pack gets back. He looks in a little pain, doesn't he, Chris Tassel?
His movement is very limited, isn't it? You know, he's hopping on one leg, and for him to see out the game would be very courageous.
Sheridan. Tony Carroll perhaps not yet running at his full power, just easing himself back in the game. There's one running at his full power, Walker. And Vowles, who never runs at anything less. 4 points the difference. A place in the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Challenge Cup semi-finals at stake. So Vatambu, he's had a lot to do. Confidence there in passing that ball out, but that's a good tackle. Crunching effort there from Carroll. Well, nothing wrong with those shoulders, Ian.
He started off with some crunches, and he hadn't had a lot of ball, and then this is where he wants to get the action. He wants to get in there. He's going to go for a triple here, and he's got 3 in a row. What chance of 4?
No, he's having a minute. Hang on, he's coming back. He will.
What chance of 5? 3.5. Go 5. He won't get a chance because of the kick.
Give him 10. Give him 10. Play on.
Good chase by Leeds, and Troy Slattery there, number 11. I think I referred to him as Keating before. Apologies to Mr. Slattery. Senior, hey, Sheridan, beginning to come more and more in this game now. Good movement there by Sheridan. Notice how Wakefield Trinity putting Sheridan on his back, delaying him from playing that ball, allowing the defence to get back, stopping the momentum of the Leeds 6. McDonough. Carl Pratt settled in well to that hooker role.
Yeah, he has. He's showed a bit of enterprise with his speed off the mark when he runs the ball there, and they're causing alarm bells in the Wakefield defence.
Kevin Sinfield, good pass to Carroll. He turned, he looked for somebody on his side on the 5th tackle. Leeds. Walker, it's hit the post. Oh, he surely did that deliberately. A try from Walker, a wry smile. I'm sure he aimed at that post deliberately. What talent.
Well, as we said numerous of times, the size of the posts for the protection of the players, and because of advertising billboards there, it comes off it and it just neat as anything, picks it up and just very casually puts it down. It was the rugby forward. Carroll was just denied a try with his powerful run. He was under pressure. He also had the option once again. Pratt, you know, we're just talking about how well Pratt's playing in his comeback game, and Hooker only had a short spell last week's game. He was there, and they've done well.
And sadly for poor fullback Martin Holland, he's stranded behind the post.
Well, you know, no one to blame there, you know. I mean, it's good execution by the kick, you know, and some telltale signs come in there, Wakefield. On their kick chase, you know, they look very tired. They didn't keep a smooth line, which is usually a first sign of your a tiredness in defence. And then you look at the next situation there, that was getting a lot of unloads, and the big men from Leeds were starting to create easy yards.
Ben Walker adding the conversion, taking Leeds out now to 16 points to 6.
But whatever happens from here on, you know, I mean, Wakefield deserve a lot of credit. Whatever they do from this point on, they've done themselves proud so far. You know, I mean, they're a great performance and a good show of how strong their defence has been. It took a kick, a very well-executed kick, with a little degree of luck, but I'm sure that's where he was aiming for, to rewarded with a try. So I think we should show a little bit of credit to Wakefield's defence.
And I think what is interesting, Ian, that Leeds coach Gary Hetherington has made a substitution. There we see in our screen an acting half-back, Rob Burrow, the little atom here at half-back for Leeds. He's come on, perhaps to do a lot of running, a lot of damage, just at a time when Trinity have some lads who probably were injured before kick-off and had to be put on in order to get a 17 off. Tiring a little bit.
Yeah, there is some injuries out there. We've already mentioned Brad Davis. But what it also does, because of the size of the Leeds players, it takes 2 and 3 people, sometimes 4 in the tackle. You've got people lying in the play of the ball area, and it's small people like Burrow with his speed and acceleration and his small stature can take advantage around the ruck area with his running, elusive running.
Sheridan. Ben Walker again, good pass out there, Senior, now then forward. Well, I don't think anybody could really argue with Mr. Kirkpatrick there. Vowles looks quizzically, but he was on the spot.
Well, here we show on the replay.
Ooh.
Well, I thought it was a line ball, you know what I mean, and our friends in rugby union would have played on there, I'm sure, Ray, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't know, it's It's a split decision, isn't it? But I will say this, Carl Kirkpatrick was quite in line with it. The touch judge actually nodded his assent when Kirkpatrick looked across. And another young lad making his debut there, Steve Snitch. Again, another from the young development crew down there at Bellevue.
The unfortunate thing too, Ray, some of their replacements, Wakefield, are senior players. They need just to be their leaders today. Davis is carrying injury now. Tassel, who had a fine first half, he's off. So it's exposing a lot of these young players now.
And I think, as we said earlier, the substitutes bench, not a lot of experience.
No, there isn't. You know, it comes back to they went in the Super League this season with the smallest budget out of any team. So, you know, when you get injuries, you're hit very quickly.
Well, whatever, for enthusiasm, endeavour and courage, there's no doubt Trinity well in this game. They really have took it to Leeds this afternoon, and here they are again. Brad Davis. Jamie Field. Davis again, electing to run it. Troy Slattery. Good play by Slattery, turns the wingman. Well, almost got the touchdown too. It's a dropout.
Drop out, fellas.
He does well here. They created numbers and he put the ball in behind the winger Walker, and a bit of a handful here, Chev. Anyway, it has come off him. It has come off his body, and bouncing ball, you don't know where it's going to go. You know, while we're talking about that forward pass there, Ray, we're saying about it, what we didn't forget there, I thought, the compliment, Wakefield got numbers back, and really desperation defence. I don't know if it was going to be a clean-cut try, because they played to the whistle, and they got themselves back in front of the ball.
Plenty of effort there too from well. His first touch of the ball in his first match. He'll do a lot better than that in the future. No worries.
Well, he's probably thinking of 100 things he's going to do. The first thing he had to think of was picking the ball up. You know, I mean, it's unfortunate. He'll learn from that, and it's a great experience. And you know, once again, I know we're giving a lot of plaudits to Wakefield.
It was interesting to see the reaction of the other Wakefield players around him, saying, "Look, get on with the game, forget about it." Tremendous spirit there in this Trinity side.
Well, you feel very isolated when you make a mistake like this in an arena like this, and that's where, you know, your senior players need to stand by you.
Burrow then with Walker now at the middle.
Here.
Senior. Good battle there between Senior and Gareth Ellis. Ellis, who has played in the back row of the pack, two big lads. Andy Hay.
Hey, come on, Raymond! Come on!
Sheridan.
Oh! Come on!
Sinfield. The ball to Vowles. Oh, he's got away there. Sinfield, can he cut inside? No, it's a good tackle. Terrific tackle there by Holland. But still, on the last tackle, Leeds pressing strongly. Sheridan. That little grubber kick again. Oh, he's got it. Francis Cummins. The kick off the instep. Cummins was tracking on the inside. We'll have to check with the video, but those Leeds fans think it's a try.
The only thing I think I'm a little bit worried about was he onside, you know, because Walker was the one who wanted the ball and Sheridan got it off him. The pass went to Sheridan instead of Walker. I just wondered if that affected the timing of Cummings. This will tell with this great shot here. Here it comes in now. It's Cummings back on the inside, and he's onside. So that'll be a fair try. Cummings has delayed his run perfectly, he has. And he's anticipated Walker, but it's gone to Sheridan, but he's experience come through and he scored back on the inside. Pretty easy decision, right? Yeah.
He's onside.
Yeah. And then, as you can see, the fullback, Holland, he's late to come back, but he saved a try over the far side. His front on defence has been outstanding today.
All eyes to the big screen. And the Leeds fans are the ones who raise their arms in the air. 4-pointer for Francis Cummins, and that adds to his 771 points before kick-off here with this Leeds outfit. Ben Walker, with what should be a comparatively easy conversion attempt. It is. And Leeds now opening a gap, 22 points to 6.
Well, they go down their right-hand side again. Singfield, a great cut-out ball across to Vowles. Vowles, a lot forward Castleford last year, now playing in the centres at present because he was formerly a centre. Puts St Hilaire away very well. They try the wide pass to Singfield, who links in again. They had a choice there of Sheridan and Walker. They go to Sheridan. They did well. Singfield's read that play well down the short side. He took the ball to the line, cut up a few players, defenders out from Wakefield, created the space, and geez, some size and strength is starting to dominate the game now, and unfortunately for Wakefield, it's all coming from the Leeds end.
With the midfield trio, though, of Sheridan, Walker and young Burrow, they really do have people who can put a little short rubber kicks in. Well, a little bit of a problem there with former Wakefield Trinity Wayne McDonald.
Well, he's the tallest man in English rugby league. He's 6'7", and there's a head-high tackle on him, so someone's had to jump very high. And might have been the old Aussie.
Well, there's 4 jumped jumped at him, didn't they?
Yeah, he might get a job at weekends at kids' parties, like merry-go-rounds, and kids jumping on his back.
I think one of the problems was there that the Wakefield Trinity lads were trying to put him on his back to slow the momentum down, were they? And I think he objected. I think he thought the tackle was over.
Yeah, it was, but you know, it's interesting now with the size of their go forward Leeds. You know, Barry McDermott's back on, who's got a great unload. I think you're going to see Barra make some great inroads here, and Sheridan around the rucks.
18 points from Leeds now without reply. Looking ominous now for the gallant Trinity outfit. And here are Leeds again. Tony Carroll wanting a part of the action. Been out so long. Sheridan. Hey. Again, good tackling down this right-hand touchline from Gareth Ellis.
Their first priority at the moment, Wakefield, is just trying to stop the ball, so they're trying to get as close as they can on the ball.
The chance. Oh. Well, he managed to flick it towards the touch, but certainly Leeds are exposing Wakefield with these little grubber kicks and chip kicks, aren't they?
Well, the reason they're exposing it, it's the rucks previous to that. They're making easy yardage and they're creating space, so they're not under any pressure when they go to kick, and they've got time to kick, and they've got people in place. So it's the leading up rucks, the quality of them, which is creating great opportunities on the last tackle for them. And they're looking tight at the moment, Wakefield. They're throwing plenty at their effort today, and whether they can continue to hold out, because with McDermott and I said McDonald, they both can unload the ball, and their go forwards now vital for their halfbacks for Leeds.
A lot of time remaining, 26 minutes. Leeds looking to add to that scoreline, 22-6. Comfortably in the lead now. McDonald really enjoying himself against his old side. 107 appearances for Trinity. Oh.
You know what's happened here?
He's allowed advantage.
Right, I think this is going to be a try, and this is the first time Wakefield haven't played the whistle. I thought that come off Carroll's leg, and I thought, come on Wakefield, dive on the ball. And that's why he's gone the video ref. Has it come off the leg? And here we're going to show on the replay. He passes it, and oh gee, we did a close-up. He attempted it with the hands. You'd think there was some hand movement here. That's why the rest played on. I don't know if we got it.
Well, certainly controversy here with a scoreline of 22 points to 6. It might not be as important, but it's certainly worth looking at here.
It happened so quick and so far away too. That's the problem. This is where everyone looked around, and at least a couple of Leeds players played on, and this is where Wakefield's been very good. And gee, I think it's come off his knee. The first look there, the first reaction, he's got the smile on the face. He might know that he got a little hand to it, but it hasn't come up on the screen.
Well, I would say this is excellent refereeing by Mr. Kirkpatrick. He really spotted it immediately.
I don't think there's a hand there.
I thought he was playing advantage. Then I thought he'd scrap the advantage, but it could be a Leeds try, as you say.
The old saying, play to the whistle, and I think there's a hand in there, and there's got to be. He attempts it with the ball there. I think there's a hand in there. I think the grin from Tony gave it away there also. He scored some great tries. I think he's thinking here. It's a tough one.
Well, whatever. The video referee has already made up his mind, and it's no try. I think, as you say, the grin from and the grin from those supporters too. I think they know deep down. I think he knows deep down that perhaps he got a hand to it.
Maybe he's not a good person to play cards with, Tony Carroll. His expression gives it up pretty easy there. But no, if he catches it, he's probably through. But I think it was great refereeing to play on, and I think the result there, no try, was the right one.
Come on, Keith. Come on, Andy.
Trinity then have really got to get themselves moving, get themselves back down to that Leeds. Have another 3 or 4 points necessary to haul them back in here. So Vattenberg, who's not been afraid to come inside, worked hard all afternoon. Paul Broadbeck back on the field.
We're getting up to 16 minutes of the second half, and I don't think we've seen an attacking raid by Wakefield down the Leeds in this 16-minute period. So it just field domination and field position has all been Leeds in this 16-minute period.
With the kick. Senior taking it well this time.
I think his coach will be revoking his kicking licence with that kick.
Burrow, Chev Walker. Not seen this young lad Burrow running from the acting half-back as yet. Quite content just to move the ball out. Barry McDermott joining the fray again. And good work there from Slattery and Field. Quite toppling the leading tower of Pisa with Wayne MacDonald, isn't he? Sinfield, good running behind there from Andy Hay.
On the line.
But Trinity still covering across field. Sinfield again. Oh, he's lost it. Another chance, and Chev Walker in for the try. Referee Mr. Kirkpatrick just consulted the touch judge, but no hesitation at all. The smiles on that young lad's face telling. And once again, it's one of those clever kicks from Leeds that does the damage.
Well, if you look at in the frame here, there's 2 Wakefield players and only 1 Leeds player. You know, and their reaction now, that they're looking very tired. But you know, I mean, their first urgency, and they've got to get to the ball, and very slow reaction here. You know, I mean, even with the worst, just dive on it. You know, I mean, you're going to have the ball for 6 tackles. It's kicked back. It's a fair result. It's interesting, you know, two Wakefield players in the frame, only 1 Leeds player, and then the cavalry comes, and it's all Leeds.
One of the stars of the future and the present, Chev Walker, just 19 years of age, and a couple of tries against Old Kingston Rovers in the earlier round, and that will please those thousands packed in that famous South Stand here at Headingley. And that will please them even further. 4 points from Walker, 2 points from his namesake Ben.
Well, we've just got to anticipate this a little bit quicker, you know, and show, like I said, a little bit of urgency. You know, he's gone the long shot picking up. He'd been better off putting his body on the line and diving on it. It's interesting, a lot of the kicks now are coming from Singfield, the ones that are causing problem, not from Walker and Sheridan. And you know, I know they're getting tired, Wakefield, but their first port of call is to get on that ball so they can do less defence.
I think we've got Mick Cook down there with Richard Duckingfield, haven't we? Richard?
Yes, Ray, on the Rhinos bench, Mick Cook. Mick, I mean, 3 unusual tries, but I guess you're happy now, are you?
Yeah, the game's it's coming our way at the moment. We've struggled a little bit today. A little bit disappointing first half. We've started the second half with a bit more intensity, and we're getting a little bit of rub of the green. So, yeah, things are going our way at the moment.
Thanks, Mick.
Well, I think you can see that with the number of Wakefield Trinity players just flooding back very, very slowly now. Some tired legs out there. And I think also a loss of direction with Brad Davis not there.
Yeah, he was their inspiration, and you know, he's a huge loss for them. You know, I mean, it took Nathan Wood. Those two have been their driving force, and yeah, they've gone up a gear, Leeds, and one of the reasons too is because they've had all the ball and they've had all field position. So it's a good time to get up a gear.
Still some courage beneath those jerseys. I think there we can see in the tackles made, I think most of those now have been coming in this last 20 minutes for Wakefield.
Yeah, well, at last they've kicked downfield and they're going to try and get Leeds coming out of their half, but unfortunately it's toll. You know, I mean, the strength and power of Leeds is told on Wakefield over this long course of the game.
Walker. Willie Poaching, former Wakefield Trinity skipper, now on the field. He'll want another go at his former side. Burrow. Vowles. Just not got the pace to go round there, Adrian. Former back rower for 5 years with Castleford. Walker, that's opened up something down this side now to Poaching. Oh, good one, and he passed to Senior. He's got men outside him. He's got men inside him. Ben Walker. And that's Ben Walker's second try of the afternoon. He's become quite a hero with the youngsters here. The ex-Northern Eagles lad from Australia. Leading point scorer down under. And rapidly becoming a leading point scorer here in Britain.
Well, Willie Poaching, former Wakefield player the last few years, against his old teammates, renowned as one of the most prolific right-arm unloaders in the game. Senior just takes it to the fullback, and it's a simple 2-on-1, and Walker comes on and compliments himself for 6 points. And that was the unload, and that's a sign of tiredness, and your technique drops off when you're tired. And the long ball from Burrow, who's now moved into halfback with Sheridan off. Poaching gets his arms free. Well, did well, Senior, keeping alive there. Gets the ball out in front, and it's the Walker who juggles it a little bit, because sometimes you can take those things for granted.
And that's classic half-back play from Walker. Good goal kicking as well, but classic half-back play a la Sean Edwards in his heyday, following a man down the middle.
Yeah, it's the quickest way to get to a try line in a straight line. But the other thing good with Walker is you're saying he's travelled up the inside. Yeah, look at all those kicks we were looking at before. He was always the first one there when the kick was, I think that last one there when Walker scored. So, you know, they've got some skill, Leeds, and that's why they're up there as being one of the favourites to win the Challenge Cup and also the Super League this season.
34-6 for Leeds. They were actually given a 32 start by the... or Wakefield were given a 32 start by the bookmakers, and it looks to be heading that way. They're not very often wrong. They don't seem any happier, but I'm sure they must be. Mal Reilly, Darryl Powell. Steve Snitch there putting a good tackle in. Tony Carroll. And you can't win games with that, can you? 6 minutes in the opponent's half with Wakefield.
Nah, that's you're just flirting with dynamite there, and you know, against any team you're going to get blown apart, but against a team of the quality Leeds, you're going to get burnt big time.
Just shows how fortunes have changed in this second half, Ian.
Yeah, well, just, you know, they've lost field position, they've got more unloads due to their inability to control them in the tackle, and you know, it's just happened is it's just been a war of attrition, and eventually, you know, the big man's going to beat the smaller man.
Peter Rowe doesn't seem too unhappy with the way things are going. I think deep down he felt that Leeds might get on top in the final stages, but he can be proud of this Trinity side. Peter Rowe there with his headphones and walkie-talkies. You coaches these days, Ian, you have more communications than General Montgomery.
Actually, I don't put them on, so I get bloke next to me to do it because I got enough to worry about.
You don't need a microphone.
He might have been with that start you just mentioned about. He might be trying to get on. He thinks his team will hold them out, and yeah, they're showing a lot of courage today.
They certainly are. Savatambua.
Leave him.
Gareth Ellis.
On the line. Leave him.
I think we mentioned.
Sorry,
Ray. I think we mentioned early in the game there. Remember we said, gee, the size of Leeds in comparison to Wakefield, you know, I mean, that usually tells you you're going to get burnt down the track if you can't control the ball and you can't get your one-on-one tackles.
But there are some big hearts under those red, white and blue jerseys, and none more so than this lad. Oh, tremendous run is going on! Yes! Nathan Wood! He's deserved that. He showed class and courage all afternoon, and that is one try really to put a little bit of vim back into this Trinity side. Terrific effort there.
Well, this is one player who deserved that. You know, he has given one wholehearted performance, Nathan Wood. And it arises from a penalty. And you'd be a little bit disappointed here, Darryl Powell, because they're the ones with the energy at the moment, Leeds, and they don't react real quick. They're slow to react. He gets in behind him. He beats Hay with footwork. And then his determination to drag Cummings over typified his performance here today, Wood. He has given value to Wakefield big time.
And he'll celebrate this. It's his first try in Trinity colours. He really is determined, isn't he? He's going to score.
All right, mate.
And he says, why not get me first goal as well? So, first try, no goal. I think he'll leave it to Brad Davis in future.
We'll just look at that replay again here. You know, the reaction there of the Leeds players, slow to regroup, poaching there, slow to group. He hasn't long come on. Hay gets beaten by footwork. Wood showed him the left, he showed him the right, and eventually just took him on. And it was interesting, that shot at goal too, Ray. It was the old school, it was the old toe pointer, not around the corner kicker.
You don't see many of those these days, do you?
Well, looking at that kick, you'll see why.
Yeah, I think Mal Meninga was about the last one I can remember.
Yeah, but the size of Mal's boot, I think he was going to kick it over him anywhere.
Yeah, it was about a size 11-12, wasn't it? Still Trinity, moving forward.
Leave it. Come on. Hold. Ray, on the line.
Paul Hanforth been doing a good job at the acting half-back in the absence of Brad Davis. One or two viewers would remember Dad Tony, also playing for Wakefield Trinity. Wood again, to Broadbent.
Keith!
Oh, a little bit too much weight on the ball. So ball back. It actually came off the side of his boot, didn't it? It didn't go where it was intended.
No, it is, and these are newer balls used this year by Gilbert. The last ones last year were a lot fatter. They're a lot skinnier this year. And I know Tommy Martin and Sean Longer said if you don't hit it with the right technique and sweep, it'll come off.
Come here, Paul.
One of the few penalties for foul play this afternoon. High tackle against Nathan Wood, and I think that came probably more from frustration at the missed kick.
It did, you know, I mean, and the other thing is, because they won the speed to play the ball, he wasn't able to come forward, so he's very flat-footed, and he ended up jumping into the tackle, which, affects your timing big time.
Sadly, however, for Trinity, it puts Leeds on the attack on that 10-metre line. Burrow.
Leave him.
Burrow switching play nice. Oh, he's small enough to get through there. He's not. Broadbent dumping the little man on his back. Sinfield. Some good running there by the number 12 Adamson, but he didn't get the ball. Walker again. Oh, Good play. Burrow scampering around. Going for the corner. Well covered. Good tackling there. Carroll. Walker. Barry McDermott. Oh, beautiful ball from McDermott. And that's Willie Poaching. Willie Poaching scores a try against his own team, and what celebrations for him this week. His wife presented him with a third addition to the household, and now a try.
Well, Poaching just not long ago set up a try for a great right-arm unload by him. This time Burrow nearly breaks him himself. And with an ensuring ruck, we got McDermott, who's one of the best front rowers in the British game. His right arm unload here. Walker's not sure what to do, so he brings McDermott back underneath him, gets his arm free. They've got 3 players on it. Credit to Poaching, but he had work to do, and he had to push up to complement the support play. And he'd like that Poaching against his old club, and was just reward for the one he set up before.
And it was the ability of a big man to hold himself up in the tackle and push that ball around the opposition to give the try, wasn't it?
Yeah, you think it'd be incredible, 3 people in a tackle on one person. How would a person get a ball away? But, that takes great skill, it takes strength, and they have that.
2 more points from the trusty boot of Ben Walker. Willie Poaching here, just showing good support work, but just look at this pass.
See what's also happening here now, Ray, because it's getting near the end of the game. They're very tired, Wakefield. They're not advancing off their line. They're only taking a couple steps and staying very flat-footed. And that way, with anyone with footwork on them or anyone powering into them, they're struggling to control the situation. And with Burrow's footwork, they're hard to control, and the unloads by McDermott, byproducts of them being flat-footed in defence.
Get him low.
And certainly, I think Trinity have been missing Brad Davis. I understand Richard is speaking with him down there.
Yeah, that's right. Brad Davis is back on the bench. Brad, I mean, thin on personnel, then you had to go off. It was too much to ask, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we've controlled the ball as well in the second half as what we probably did in the first half, and injuries have taken their toll today. But Leeds are a quality side, and they've just been better for us on the day.
Fair to say, some towering performances by, Nathan Wood particularly.
Yeah, I think he's had a fine game, and everyone's given 100% effort, and I just think, we just got to take this into Super League now for next week.
Thanks, Brad.
Walker, again, another delicate little cover kick. Oh, can he get the ball away? Anderson, yes, he does. Adrian Vowles, but he won't get there. That shows the courage of this Trinity side, battling back to stop the try. Willie Poaching, Leeds rampant here now. Hey, Cummins, senior, forward pass.
Well, a look forward. I think they should have scored out of the far side when Adamson should have passed it to his winger, and not a lot in it, but just marginally.
But just look there, still 4 Trinity defenders getting across.
Yeah, I think Brad Davis hit it. They've given 100% here today. He couldn't have asked them any more, their coach, and they need to take this form into Super League, but their attitude's great.
Copybook tackle there from Tony Carroll, putting the shoulder in. There's certainly nothing wrong with the work that the surgeon has done on that shoulder. He'll feel a lot better after this game, I think, in himself.
Well, it's given him a lot of confidence, and he's had some time too. He hasn't been pressured by defenders because of the tiredness now in the Wakefield team.
Ben Walker. Oh, well, that will be a knock-on, surely.
It's a knock-on by Wakefield, and he'll play advantage here.
Good referee.
Yeah, it was.
Had a good game, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
He has, I think someone's refs are too quick to pull up play and say, let's see a little rugby, and we're seeing it here now by going with the advantage.
Leeds moving the ball out well there now. Sinfield Back inside there to Chev Walker. Walker, he's got some support. But that's a good tackle there by Martin Holland. Clamping the ball. Still with the strength left. Walker. Burrow. Oh. Well, that looked a forward, but not so. Trinity on the back foot here now. Burrow again.
Right! On the line! Come on! No penalties!
Ben Walker. Opening it out wider. Sinfield. Hey! Has he got a run in? No, he hasn't. McDermott can crash over. Good combination there between the forwards. Andy Hay looked to have a run in, but again, gritty defence from Trinity. Stopped him, but no stopping that man. Barry McDermott.
Well, he's done well the front row to support from the inside. If you look here, they drop a player back inside, they're getting tired, and the inside defence is just shot there through their tiredness. Gee, he would have liked to have probably done this if he had his time over again. Hey, a little bit better on the fullback. I think he took it for granted he was going to score, but McDermott didn't take it for granted. He pushed up in case Hay got into problem. He sucks two players in here, Singfield. He sucks the inside defender in and the defender that was on him, which created the space there. And the third defender in, he was just too tired. And once again, we're seeing more people starting to come in the frame from Leeds. So tiredness contributed to that. And when you get tired, you usually lack talk, and talk's one of the great assets in defence. So, you know, I just think we're just seeing a lot of good skill here now by some very skillful players now, Ray.
Ben Walker, I wouldn't have any disagreement with that there. Man of the match, 20 points already. 6 goals, 2 tries, and there's 22 points. Ben Walker converting that try from Barry McDermott.
Front rowers don't usually score a lot of tries, so they get very excited. I don't know, one Barry Ward from St Helens last week got very excited, and he scored his try for the season. And I think Barry would feel the same here, but Hayes' anticipation on the pass back on the inside was very good. And once again, you know, that's excellent. The bloke on the inside again was your friend, Ben Walker, supporting on the inside if anything happened to McDermott.
He's picked up a few tries in his time, you know, Barry. 27 tries now. That's good going for a prop forward.
It is. I'm sure other props will be discussing how he does it.
Wakefield, I'm sure, waiting to hear that final whistle from Mr. Kirkpatrick. I'm sure those youngsters have enjoyed it. They'll be, no doubt, glued to their TV screens on BBC Grandstand tomorrow for the draw. The semi-finals, Leeds already in there. They can settle back. Wigan to go to Lee. Castleford to receive Doncaster. And Ian Millward and his men to travel to the Shea at Halifax. 3 cracking ties in prospect tomorrow. And of course we'll have the Halifax v Saints match on Grandstand, 2:45. McDermott. Good ball out there from Vowles, just a flick of the hands. Carroll. Yeah, that was not backwards. Leeds moving the ball around now at will. They know they've got a very tired side.
It's going back to the ensuring ruck there. The linesman's intervened and said it was raked. There was 2 in the tackle, and you're only allowed to rake the ball if it's a one-on-one situation. And the linesman's jumped in and said, yep, there was more than one in it, and it was raked out by Wakefield, and the advantage should go to Leeds.
Well, certainly 2 minutes from time, trailing by 46 points to 10. You don't want a final 6 tackles in your own 20-metre area at this stage. But Trinity have to withstand possibly this last attack. Burrow. I say the dummy. Burrow tried to dart through. They've kept good control of him in midfield. Again, using this short side. Kevin Sinfield. Burrow again to Walker. Oh, he's lost it. I was gasping in admiration of the kick of Ben Walker. It was pinpoint accuracy, but Marcus Santiller couldn't hold it.
Well, there's great vision here from Walker. He sees that they're short on numbers, and the quickest way to get the ball there was a kick. He's kicked it. Great execution. Unfortunately, it wasn't complemented with putting the ball down, but the vision and the way to get the ball there was very well done by Walker.
And I think if anyone noticed that kick there, it was actually done just with the side of the foot, so it just sort of skewed into Hiller's grasp.
Yeah, with full-time rugby league now, players can come up with different tricks, and there's numerous ways they can kick the ball, and one of them is on the outside, which you can curl, and there's even the banana one where it bends back. So full-time has really helped advance players' skills.
The seconds kicking down here then, on the 5th tackle. Possibly a kick and a last chance at another try for Trinity. Not so. Hiller catching the ball well this time. But there is the hooter, it's all over. A gallant effort from Wakefield Trinity. But Leeds 8 tries and those 22 points from Ben Walker, allowing Leeds to reach the 4th successive semi-final of the Challenge Cup, the 9th semi in 10 seasons, an amazing record. Bradford, OKR, Wakefield now, all behind them, and those fans now eager to know the next opponents when the semi-final draw is made in Grandstand on Sunday. Francis Cummins had a good, sound, solid game, picked up a try as well. Wakefield 2 tries from Wood and Tassel, but it was that man directing operations in midfield. They started a little slowly. I think Wood and Davis were really giving a good account of themselves in the opening 10 minutes, but Leeds have finished the stronger, haven't they?
Yeah, you know, what we anticipated, a big, strong team. Once they got a roll on, they were too hard to handle. But this is a great experience for the Wakefield young players today. They're in a great arena in a quarter-final Challenge Cup. They'll learn a lot from it, and they've done themselves credit. But, you know, the more skillful and powerful teams won on the day.
And I think we've got Richard down with that man of the match, the hero of the hour, Ben Walker.
Yes, congratulations, Ben. 22 points, your personal tally, quite a game.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We controlled the ball a lot better in the second half, so it enabled me to score a few more points. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it out there, and I think we built something in the second half. We were a bit ordinary in the first half, but we came out well.
There was one try that we enjoyed of yours. It came back off the post, you dived on it. I mean, was that on purpose? Did you aim for the post?
I'd like to say that I aimed for it, but no, I didn't. I just put the kick through. I knew the fullback wasn't there, and we're just lucky that it hit the post. But you practice for them each day, but you don't expect them to come off.
It was a big win in the end. I mean, the second half, obviously, all Rhinos, but not the story of the game entirely, was it?
No, it wasn't. As I said, the first half, they were very competitive, and the panic buttons were hit at half-time, and we knew we had to come out and play a lot better than we did in the first. And luckily enough, we were very committed in the second half, and the result went our way.
You would think, though, that the Wildcats, I mean, there was stretch of personnel. Brad Davis had to go off, and then you really killed the game, didn't you? Yeah,
they've been unfortunate through injuries, during the week, and I think it compounded, during the game. They lost a couple others, so made the job a little bit easier, but it was bad luck to them.
You've got, what, 3 weeks to wait for a semi-final, I guess. What, who would you like there? Not bothered?
Hopefully an easy one, but I don't think there'll be an easy one, unfortunately.
Congratulations, Ben. Well done.
Thank you very much.